Hey guys, Button25 here playing FSX once again. Today, we are continuing our tour with DLH Virtual. We need to turn that way, so. There we go. Taxi lights on. Let's get the engine started. I'm going to... Oh no, actually those lamps don't need to be on. Ding, 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 ding. And taxi on, yep. Packs on. Start the engines. And also set flaps. Flaps 5. Yep, there we go. Pushback is going normally. We've got that engine spooling up. Flaps are set to 5, yes. Yep. Fuel and center. Okay, then I'll turn the center tank on. I'll turn the beacon, nav, logo, and wing lights on. Center pumps on. Yeah. I don't really need to worry about seat belts or no smoking signs because it's a cargo aircraft. There are no passengers as such to worry about. You know, having their seat belts on and so on, so forth. Right, let's get the other engine up and going. I can just do this without needing a checklist or anything. That's pretty impressive, I would think. Okay, stop the pushback. Parking brake set. Control surface check. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. I think I can turn the APU off. I think I might not be doing this completely properly, but I'm doing it well enough. Yeah, that's not something I want to hear the pilot say. There we go. You can see that... Oh no, it's still open, right? Well, let's get taxiing to the runway. Yeah, I parked there thinking, yeah, that's probably the cargo gates. Surprisingly enough, I was correct. Let's get taxiing and then get on our way to Sochi. You might see a few PMDGMD11 videos, however, don't bet on it. I'm still having problems with that aircraft, so we're sticking with the old trusty 777 brake. Old trusty 777, you know, when it's not trying to skid off the taxiway. It's old and trustworthy. So, APU is off. Yeah, that thing should close. It usually doesn't stay open the whole flight. Maybe it closed at a certain speed. Screw it, we're turning onto the runway and we're getting ready to depart from Moscow. I wonder if we'll actually see some of the city. Right. Brakes are set. Yeah, mate, taxi off if you would. No. Damn. Taxi off, strobe on, landing on. Set takeoff thrust. APU cooldown. Presuming that's the APU shutting down. And we are off. It is quite a slow start, but we should be able to build up more than enough speed. I mean, I managed to stop and I landed, I'd say, at about the halfway point of the runway. Now realizing I'm actually recording this video before I post the other one. You can see the little thing there. I should probably keep an eye on the speed. Okay, we're not at V1 yet. I should be worried about that, not happy about that now that I think about it. Crap, I forgot to turn the FD on. Oh, crap. crap. LNAV, VNAV, rotate. Just... Whoa. Yeah, that's level... Oh god, I nearly messed up. Big time, I'm at. Just going to keep an eye on that. I should probably pull the gear up, shouldn't I? Yeah, gear up, mate. Yep, there we go. Now I need to take over. Boom. 240. That's a speed we've got to maintain. Gear coming up. Set flaps 1. I think we're actually going to fly towards Moscow before we turn around and leave. And bugger off. I'm leaving the flaps at 1 for now. I mean, we're ascending quite quickly right now. Out of Domodedovo. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If not, you know, I'm sorry to all my Russian viewers, which there are quite a few of. Looking around, I cannot see Moscow. Where's Moscow? Yeah, there's another airport. I'm not sure which airport that is. Moscow has several. I don't have any discontinuities, no? No. Good. I'm just setting mine up to max because, you know, Sochi quite long. This is right. Flaps up. Oh, it didn't retract in the slightest. Right, flaps 1 then. Which I think is almost just slats. Or, you know, very little. And flaps up. Yeah? We all agreed, flaps up? Yes. Good. Now we're flaps up and climbing out. Gotta love the wing flex. Huh, I don't see Moscow buildings at all. A few generic FSX buildings, you know, Domodedovo in the background. How are we doing in terms of speed and all that? Because, you know, the nose is... That's actually just slightly below 15 degrees, so... Yeah, the 777-200 is the smaller but longer range version of the aircraft, the 777. Oh, there we go. Alright, Moscow building identification. Alright. Not a clue. I think some of these are, like, one of these are is a Kremlin, you know, the head of the government. Those are some stadiums, I would presume. Some other buildings. Really nothing too major. By the look of things. Right, we're at 7,000 feet. Almost at 10,000 mark where we can, you know, pedal to the metal. I think throttle to the staff would be the more aviation-y way of saying it. Yeah, hold on. This looks like the airport that I did the Ilyushin 62 flight from. Was that Vnukovo, maybe? I'm sorry to all Russians. I'm butchering the names of the airports. Good thing I only have to refer to Sochi as Sochi. It probably has its own name. I'm just sticking with Sochi. After that, we're going to continue to Almaty in Kazakhstan. Get ready to turn the landing lights off. And, you know, then I'm going to give it I'm just going to wait until we just pass it. And you have free reign of the throttle. And we don't need landing lights because we're above 10,000 feet. Well, we climbed up fairly quickly. I mean, we're still quite close to the airport. Oh, and there's Moscow. Right, now it's time to play recognition. Right. Yeah, there's 2 of every building. Because there's the normal FSX and the scenery FSX. Yeah, there's St. Basil's, there's the Red Square, there's a ton of Russian buildings. So see, why are they overlapping, though? I might need to reinstall that, so... Yeah, there's a some radio towers, some of which have become a symbol for Russian propaganda, it seems. Anyway, I'm going to pause the video here and I'll see you guys as we begin our approach into Sochi. See you then. Okay guys, we're below 10,000 feet now. We're just going to... Right, that's an interesting approach path, but that's kind of what I have set up, so we're sticking with it. But I'm presuming to our left, there, somewhere, actually, there is Sochi. Coming in over the water, and we're going to do some swerves due to the mountains. Those mountains also hosted the Winter Olympics a few years back. Banut. Yep. Peter. So that's where it ends. So we're basically going to go to Banut, flip around, fly by P-Top, which is also kind of a plan for a go-around. I'm a bit confused with this layout. Ding. So it seems we go there, we fly all the way around, we line up on the other side. Oh, also no ILS. This is going to be an all-manual landing, so I'll be eyeballing it. And then we'll proceed on to Almaty, or however the bloody hell you pronounce that city. And then tomorrow, oh, it's on to Kai-Tak, which should be interesting. You know, that's also going to be a visual approach because it's Kai-Tak. I shall leave it at that. Will definitely be interesting. Landing at Kai-Tak, I mean. Seriously. We're landing a PMDG 777 in Kai-Tak. Landing a Payware aircraft in Kai-Tak. I've never landed a Payware aircraft in Kai-Tak. First off, these trots are a lot more fidgety and complicated. I won't lose another 10 knots of speed. Yeah, those are the lights there, those two little things. There were some flashes there. Yeah, those. If you look at it from behind, they don't exist. You look at it from forward, they exist. How does this all work? Oh, we're losing speed. I have a feeling the engines are on idle. What's our altitude, though? Yeah, I think I'm just going to slow the rate of descent, say negative 500 FPM. You can see the engine spooling up there. I'm going to retract the spoilers because I have a feeling we won't need them. So yeah, we're going to fly past P-Top or whatever. And at SI062, or approximately, we're going to level off. Wait. Does adjusting the throttle affect the auto throttle? Let's find out, shall we? No, it does not. Well, you know, that's also because here the throttle moves all the way. You can't just have to say cruise power and then have the autopilot adjust it within that, like on an Airbus. So that there is Sochi. The mountains are definitely going to pose a challenge, but you know, I like a good challenge every now and then. Almaty, well, I don't have too fond memories of Almaty. The reason for that is I did a flight from Moscow to Almaty in a Tupolev 144. No comment on that one. Actually, yeah, the gear sort of acted as spoilers. Not just like... As in, it caused the plane to just lose all lift. Yeah, so what I did was I approached no gear. No, I basically, just to the point where I would flare, I flared, I sort of slightly leveled off above the runway, and very close to the runway, and dropped the gear. So I sort of skidded a bit before the gear came out. Let's hope this attempt will end better. I think flaps 1 would be a good idea right now. So we've begun flap extension. You see the slats drooping there? Yeah, there's our shadow. Curious, what air traffic is in the vicinity? So there's a 737 that's cruising, but also making some quite vicious turns. There's a Dash 8 of what I'm going to... well, looking at the runway... no, that's not Sochi. And a Grand Caravan in the middle of a bloody desert. Or at Sochi, I'm not sure. They installed some scenery at Sochi, or for Sochi, so... I'm not too sure. Right. Oh my gosh. That looks extremely weird. Right. Yeah, no, we're going to level off before. Wait, what? We've only passed P-top. I thought we'd... well, then again, yeah, we're not. We're flying straight towards some mountains, you know. Aviation rule number 1, don't fly towards mountains. Right, lose another 10 knots. We're decelerating in slow 10 knot increments. Also, without spoiler usage. It's going to take another 2 minutes or so to level out. Yep, 2 minutes. Alright, I think I can set flaps 5 at this point. I did that perfectly. So we're at flaps 5, which is our normal takeoff setting. You know, as I said once again, these airports are not somewhere you'd see a lot of commercial aircraft going, like not a lot of passenger traffic. I think they do that deliberately. So they keep the main passenger hubs separate from the cargo hubs. For example, I think Stansted might have been or might still be quite a big cargo hub. Right, let's dish another 10 knots. You see the throttle moving way back. We've got to love how the little plastic thing at the side also moves. Flaps 15. Right, I think we're going to go straight down to 190 now. Just with the deployed flaps 15 a slight bit too early. Not too early as in the flaps won't get damaged, but earlier than might be considered normal, I'm not sure. So in a few years the 777X will be released, which will have folding wingtips, because the wingspan will be so great that said folding wingtips will be required. Right, we're leveling off now. Alright. We're about to begin our turn. Well, we're close enough to beginning our turn. So I think, actually, yeah, lose another 10 knots. I'm deliberately slowing this down slowly. So I'm not going straight back to 140. Yep, there's Sochi Airport. I thought Sochi Airport was up there. Really? Maybe it is. I might just be losing my mind at this point. I really don't know. No, I think we're coming in and then we're flying towards mountains. Right. Note to self. Find out which runway faces away from those mountains for takeoff. I don't want to have to deal with that. Right, whatever the next flap setting is. 20. I might have deployed that a bit late. Also, gear down. Nose gear down. Main gear down. Right, 170 and proceed with flap extension. Let's flap to 2.5 next. Let's go straight to 30. Oh. Oh yeah. We're getting progressive. Like you can see the margins is getting progressively narrower and narrower of, you know, safe speed. Yeah, I think we're going to go back to 160, and that's going to be our approach speed now as we begin our turn. And also set full flaps at this point. Yeah, you can see 25 and 30 might as well be the same. There's the runway. Wait a second. That? Right, we're... Well, this is going to be a manual landing, so, you know, if required, I can override the autopilot, but... Straight ahead of us... There's nothing. Like... Oh no, that's... Okay, we're slightly off, so I think that's slightly offness. I'm actually debating, should I disable the autopilot and come in manually? Well, I have to come in manually anyway, I'm just considering, you know, what's the point at which I should disable... Oh yeah, set the auto brake to max. This isn't Moscow where you've got room for error. This is where you either go down, you know, this is where you either land or you don't. And although go around is a possibility, it's something I would rather not have to deal with. Also, I should probably mention, I've never done a go around with any virtual airline. Right, we're at the right approach thing. Autopilot disengage. And yeah, I know the autopilot has been disconnected, mate. I disconnected it. So this is going to be a bit of a shallower approach. Also, well, this isn't the first time I've landed one of these manually. It's the first time I've landed one of these manually on video. I've landed one at Eham or Schiphol. Well, then again, well, screw it. It should be enough to land on. Right. Right. I am slightly below glide slope, but that is a deliberate decision. Where's it? Can I click I click autopilot approach? No? No, I can't. Therefore, I won't. No auto land. Oh, Christ on a bike. That was an aggressive turn there. Not sure what it was getting aligned for. Oh, right, so there's no actual warning light. Right, we're coming in too low, apparently. Right. Yeah, I know, auto throttle is disconnected. We have more throttle on one side than on the other. That shouldn't be a problem, but no, I'm still a bit cautious here. So I want to touch down right at the lip of the runway. Also, this has scenery installed, I should probably mention. Not very good scenery. Those houses are going to get buzzed by a 777. How are we doing in terms of speed? Should No, in terms of speed, I think we're doing fine. I'm just going to have to lift the nose up a bit to get a bit better alignment with the glide slope. I'm still going to be deliberately coming in lower than you'd normally come in. But that's really just to lose the speed. Right, we're 500 feet. Feet. Oh yeah, the scenery. I'm going to park over there because that looks like where the cargo aircraft would go. Cut. Don't get up. Cut the engines. Flare. Brake, man, and reverse. Nose down. That looked to be... Wait, no, these were on the ground, comrade. Right, stow the reversers. Stow the spoilers. Flaps up. Right, flap. Yeah, flaps up. We're just going to park over here at one of the cargo spots. At least what I assume to be the cargo spots. Config flaps. Why would I want to config... Oh yeah, also, oh, sure, why not? APU start. Yeah, you can see the little thing opening at the rear of the aircraft. Yeah, we're slightly off, but that shouldn't be too big a deal. According to this, we're below sea level, or below ground level, I should say, not sea level. That would be an interesting landing if we were below sea level. There is a glitch in FSX at some airports, at an airport I know of. I'm not sure what the airport is, but where the aircraft is actually, or the airport is below ground level. Minus 1 degree Celsius. Wow, it's cold on Sochi. And this is during the day. And then again, it may be going with real time where it might... No, it's still at night. Still won't be night. Parking brakes set. Oh, we're completely blocking that taxiway, but it's right. Right, guys, that was the second leg of our flight from Leipzig around the world trip. Well, not around the world, cargo trip. Just, why is there still jet wash? I mean, we're completely stationary. Right, moving. Yeah, because I'll see you guys in for the next leg on Sochi to Almaty. See you then.